I always loved the physique of the superhero. You know, it's overly skinny, overly muscular, kind of how like I used to be shaved when I was a teenager. Minus the muscular part, just mainly skinny. I think some people might even call it lurpy. But nevertheless, this is such a fun process. You start with whatever part of the body. It doesn't matter if you get the proportions right in Photoshop because you can always use the selection tool and scale it up or scale it down. One of my favorite things is the curves. The way the muscles curve and wrap over each other, from the deltoids, the pectoral muscles, the lateral muscles, you know, trying to figure out how they would look naturally isn't always necessarily crucial for doing comic book style art, but what a really fun experience it is using Photoshop for sketching nowadays. I used to only ever do just copying. You know, I would look at a picture. I'd rarely do anything from memory. If I was gonna try to copy something, I would just take it and put it right next to my piece of paper, and I would draw. There was this amazing art book that I had, and actually still have. I just found it in one of my memorabilia boxes. It's a how to draw Marvel comic book characters, and it was really fun because it would let you draw directly on the pages and fill in these gaps and draw that physique out like that. And something, you know, that kind of got my muscle memory in my hands used to it. But also, you know, using that sketch transparent paper for the same sort of thing. Now you can see right here I am kind of finishing up the costume design here. We got the physique all down basically where I wanted it. Those feet look pretty good, and I'm usually not a feet kind of guy. You notice I'm kind of skipping over the hands, skipping over some of those appendages there, and using my company logo right there in the center there. And yeah, it's just like such a fun thing, you know. One of the biggest things that I always have trouble with when it comes to drawing is I'm usually concerned about needing to do something over again. And that's why I recently opted, when I say recent, I guess I'm no longer trying to do very, very detailed line art when I'm sketching, because I don't like to erase. I don't think the eraser ever makes the page clean and white, and maybe that's a little OCD of me, but I prefer leaving things really wild and sketchy and floating around and that sort of thing. So at this point in the video, you can see I attempt to do a little bit of lighting work here. And again, this turns into that very smudgy style, which I really, really dislike. It's just, it never looks good. It just looks completely dirty. I really like the harsh shadows, and I never accomplish that when I'm just using this airbrush soft round circular tool. The shadows never look harsh enough when they should, and that lighting gave it worked out a little bit in the very beginning, but at this point I think it just gets really messy, especially once I touch up the face. So I'm afraid to show this part. I don't even know why I bother with some of these details, really. It's not like it's turning out to be a masterpiece that everyone needs to stop and pay attention to here. But anyway, yeah, it's super fun being able to do digital art now. I've really been able to finally pick it up once I got an XP Pen 15.6 inch screen to draw directly on. I had a Wacom tablet, a couple of really, really old ones. One I used when I was in college, one I used when I worked at the NBC affiliate, and I bought the same one since then, and really barely was able to use it the way I wanted to, and this has really changed things around for me. So how cool is that?